guys, it's Cece, and today I am going to talk to you about authors that I have not read yet, but gosh golly do I need to. So of course there are a lot of authors in the world. Not everybody can read every author, but there are a few authors that I consider it a bad thing personally for me that I have not yet gotten to any of their books. These authors could be super hyped here on BookTube, or just authors that I want to read a lot of their books and don't know why it hasn't happened yet really, but I have created a top 7 of authors that I've never read anything by and I don't know why, and I need to fix it as soon as possible. So yeah, let's talk about those. So first up, I want to talk about Khaled Hosseini, I believe. Really sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. I've really wanted to read his books for a number of years. Some of them come really highly recommended by my mother and my grandmother, who I trust, and we trade books a lot. So I really want to read some of his books because of that, but also I think that some of them just come as really highly recommended books in general. So the 2 books that I currently have on my TBR for Khaled Hosseini are A Thousand Splendid Suns and The Kite Runner. I really wanted to read both, and I think that both I'm really going to love, and I think that they look like really good books, and I don't know why I haven't read any of his books yet, because I have really easy access to both of these, so it's really strange that I haven't read either of them yet. Next, I would like to talk about Melinda Lowe. It's kind of weird that I haven't read any Melinda Lowe yet. She has some really famous fairy tale retellings, which is a subgenre I adore, so that's weird, and also her fairy tale retellings are LGBTQIA, so I don't understand why I haven't gotten to them yet. I have a couple on my list, and I really want to get to them, and I know that at the very least Ash is always available at my library, so I might read that over Christmas break. When I get home, I'm gonna go pick up Ash and read it, because I don't know what's been stopping me, and I really want to read it. But the other one that I want to read by her is Adaptation, because I have heard some very interesting things about adaptation that have made me really curious. So yeah, I don't know. I really need to read Melinda Lowe. The third author that I would like to talk about is someone I'm probably going to get to sooner rather than later, since I already own one of her books with me here on my Kindle, and that person is Morgan Matson. And what interests me about Morgan Matson, because I don't love YA contemporary, what interests me is that I've heard that some of her books don't fall into a lot of YA contemporary tropes sometimes that they all fall into. I don't know, this is just kind of what I've heard. But the 2 books that I want to read most by her are Amy and Roger's Epic Detour. I've heard some really good things about this one, but the one that I have with me is Since You've Been Gone, which I've heard really excellent things about. People loved this book when it came out, so I'm really curious about it, and yeah, Morgan Matson. Next up, I would like to talk about an author that I don't think really gets that much recognition here on BookTube, but I know that Lala over at Books and Lala has read a couple of her books and has recommended them, and I am personally really interested in reading some books by her, and that is Lydia Rayder. I really want to read her books. They just sound really interesting and kind of different. So the books that I would like to read by her are, of course, Black Iris, but also one of her books that comes out some point this month. Has it already come out? It might have already come out, and that is Cam Girl. I am more excited about Cam Girl, and I'm really interested to see what the deal is with this book, because I have not heard a ton about Lydia Rayder in general, but I don't know, her premises sound really interesting, and I definitely want to get my hands on a couple of her books. The next person I would like to talk about is a bit ridiculous that I haven't read any of his books. It just seems a bit absurd, because everyone has read books by Andrew Smith, but I haven't, and I don't know why. Because I want to read a lot of his books. I really want to read Winger. Obviously, that's the most famous one. I think that's the one that people most often recommend. I've heard really good things about 100 Sideways Miles, and I've heard some very weird things, but also some good things about Grasshopper Jungle. It's possibly the one I'm most excited about, even though it sounds weird as hell. But Andrew Smith just gets a ton of hype here on BookTube. I think his books get a ton of hype in general, and I don't know. Grasshopper Jungle always stops me up because it sounds so strange. But I really want to get to these books. I really want to see what Andrew Smith is all about. The second to last person that I'm going to talk about is Marissa Mayer. Of course, this will be a big hit in this month of November because, of course, winter just came out. The final book of the Lunar Chronicles, which has been a huge deal, and I haven't read a single one of them, which is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous that I haven't read them yet. That's the only way to put it. I have Cinder here with me, and hopefully I will get a chance. I don't know if I'll have a chance to read it this month, but if not, I probably want to read it next month, is my plan. So I definitely want to read Cinder. The Lunar Chronicles is so hyped. Everyone loves the Lunar Chronicles. I mean, of course, there are people who don't, but it's such a huge series, and I really want to get to it. I know that Yessie from the book Vagrant, like, loves the series, and so I really want to read them. I really want to. And soon I will. And the final author that I'm going to talk about is also fairly relevant because one of her books also just came out in the recent months, and that is Leigh Bardugo. I have not read anything by Leigh Bardugo, but I intend to. Leigh Bardugo is the author of the Grisha trilogy, of course, as well as the new book Six of Crows, which I know takes place within the Grisha universe, and everyone loves it. Like, everyone. I haven't heard a bad review yet. I'm sure they're out there, but to be honest, everyone seems to just be worshipping this book. I want to read it. It's a book about a group of criminals, and there's a con involved, and that's like my favorite thing in the world. So at this point, my plan is to read the Grisha trilogy before I get to Six of Crows, which is gonna be really hard because I really want to read Six of Crows. But I think that Leigh Bardugo, I think that she's up soon for me. The world sounds really interesting. The Grisha trilogy is a pretty big trilogy here on BookTube, and I'm really curious, and I'm really excited, and I know Sam from Thoughts on Tomes, like, adores it, so I'm very curious, and I really want to read it. Really. So there you go. There's a list of authors that I've never read anything by. I don't know why. I don't know why it hasn't happened, but those are the authors that I haven't read anything by and I really want to get to because they sound great and people love their books and I'm really interested in reading their books. So hopefully I'll get to them soon, but I say that a lot about a lot of books and I don't get to a lot of them soon. So we'll see. But those are the authors that are highest up on my list who I haven't read yet and I need to get to. So in the comments below, let me know what are some of the authors that you have never read that you would really like to get to. And of course, thank you for watching and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!